Hey everybody, just a Mongo here. Today we're going over a hero deck profile. This is actually the deck profile I took to locals pretty recently, and did pretty damn well with it. I think I got 4th place, which wasn't terrible. There was a decent amount of people there. I won 3 of my games and only lost 1, so I did pretty decent. Anyway, getting into the deck profile, we're on 3 copies of Stratos. This is a really great card. You need this thing to search out some of your best cards in your entire deck, like Ferris, for example. We're, of course, only 1 copy of Shadow Mist. This is pretty much you summon this thing off of your Wake Up Your Elemental Hero to get a Mass Chain Search to make Dark Law. You can also use it as material if you're in a pinch for Fusion Destiny to make your Dangerous, which grabs you your Ferris. We're also on 1 copy of Wing Kribo level 6. This is a really neat card, comes up quite a lot. It's also a level 6, obviously hence the name. So you can use it to make stuff like DPE, which is neat. And of course, we're also on the 1 Neo, so you gotta run it. Next up, this is crucial to the deck. We need 3 copies of Ferris, 2 copies of Increase, and 2 copies of Vion. The reason why we're on 2 copies of Increase is because Increase is a brick, and if we happen to draw into the 1 copy that we have, it sucks. We can't really play, so we're playing 2 specifically to, in case we do draw that first one, we have a second one as a backup, so that way we aren't immediately dead. This is also a way to foolish something as well as a discard, and also our main way to get to polymerization, which is very important. We're also on 3 copies of Destiny Hero Malicious, as well as Denier and the 1 Plasma. Pretty standard Destiny Hero package, nothing has changed. Moving on to the spells, I am on 3 copies of Hero Lives, of course. A great play starter, way to get to Stratos, which also gets you to Ferris and such. We're also on Rhoda, Foolish, Prosby, and Called By. We're also on 2 copies of Polymerization. I'm only 2 just because in the grind game, it's nice to have a second one just to be able to do something else. That and also sometimes you do open up the second poly. You can also search it with Thrust, which we are playing. We're also on Miracle Fusion, of course, as well as our 3 copies of Mass Change. I've tried out 3. 3 is actually really good. Not only can you, obviously make stuff like Dark Law and Blast, but you can also sit there and dodge some hand traps as well, which is really neat. Something like, for example, if you normal Stratos and you really need that trash to go off and your opponent Veilers or Imperms that, you can, of course, chain Mass Change, sending to the grave, which would then make Imperm or Veiler fizzle out, which is neat. And we're also on our 3 copies of Fusion Destiny. This is just a little side piece. It's okay. We're pretty much just playing it as a engine/tech piece that comes up occasionally. Moving on to the non-engine, we're of course on the 3 copies of Thrust. Thrust goes crazy in this build, specifically because of 1 trap in particular, which we're playing in the main, which I'll get to when that time comes. We're also on 2 copies of Dark Ruler No More. I think 2 is fine. I probably wouldn't go 3, just because I want to keep ratios lower. I believe I'm on a 43 card build, which in my opinion is as optimal as this can get, considering the space of the engine and everything else. We're also on 3 copies of Droplets. This pretty much just rounds out our Breaker package. We're also on Favorite Contact, of course, and the Destructive Daruma Karma Cannon. The reason why we're on this is because there are sometimes in games where we can't do anything because the opponent has drolled us or shifted us or something, where we literally cannot play. So something we can do is use Thrust to grab Karma Cannon, set it, and then during the opponent's turn, we can flip this bad boy up, either book all their stuff. If I can't book their stuff, then it gets nuked. This actually works really interestingly with the Tenpai matchup. If they have Sangan summoning out in the field. So Destructive Karma Cannon specifically has to flip a card face down, and because Sangan summoning prevents that from the opponent, because they're unaffected, as long as you flip like a monster you control face down, then Karma Cannon will destroy their entire field, which is neat. Which is a really interesting tech that did come up that was pretty damn neat. Moving on To the extra deck, of course, we'll need Infernal Rage, Sunrise. We're only need one Wake Up Your Elemental Hero. I was tinkering around with a second one because you can make a second one off of your favorite contact, which like shuffles Malicious and stuff back, which is neat, but it almost never really comes up that much. Of course, on the Shiniest Wingman, we actually, of course, drop the Absolute Zero and Liquid Soldier, as they don't really do anything on their own. They are side pieces, and to be honest, they are kind of... Liquid Soldier is kind of a brick on its own. We're on DPE, Dystopia, Dangerous. Dystopia, obviously, for time. Dangerous, literally just if we have Dookie hands with Fusion Destiny. We're on 2, Dark Law, really great card. We're on the 1 Blast, because we're on the, of course, 3 match change. We can play these ratios. For links, we're on Cross Crusader, 2 of them. One Driver, Infernal Devicer, and the Dread Decimator. You could probably, like, cut something to play, like, Bagooska, maybe, but I'm not super interested in Bagooska. I've tried it many times, and I don't think Bagooska is really worth the space he puts up. Specifically because almost all of those games that, like, you want to make Bagooska, you really can't make Bagooska. So I'm not a big fan of Bagooska. If you want to play him, you can. Moving on to the side. Side was really clutch. Came in a lot of handy. Of course, on the 1 Dark Angel. This thing came up quite a lot. Came up against the Tenpai matchup and the Whitewoods matchup, which is really cool. Those things helped me a lot with this card. Only 1 talents. I just need space to fill, and I just had like 1 talents, I guess, lying around. I came up quite a bit. Pretty neat. One the 1 Duster, the 2 Lightning. I tossed Book of Eclipse into the side, which is fine. I sided this in a couple times for breakers, but it didn't really... I don't think I opened it at all, unfortunately, even though I sided in like many times. You could possibly throw this in main if you wanted to like bump your count up a little bit. 2 Evenly, 2 D-Beer. This went crazy against the Whitewoods and Tenpai matchups. Just calling Synchros, just pretty much just shuts them out. We're also on 3 Judgment as well. Judgment was really crazy because it's just like a spell trap negate pretty much, so it really did help against the Tenpai matchup, just because it would, like, if the opponent would, like, Raigeki me or some shit, just Judgment, negate that, and then hope they didn't have something else. But it came up, like, 2 games, I think, obviously against the Tenpai matchup, and it also came up against the Ritual Beast, I think it was, but I just couldn't win that matchup. Ritual Beast is a really hard matchup to win against this deck, just because they don't care about banishment. So, yeah. Combo, I'll get into that pretty quickly. It is a pretty simple combo that just goes a long way, assuming that we're going to be starting with Stratos, or a way to get to Stratos, and for simplicity's sake, a Malicious. Normal summon Stratos, effect to search for Ferris. Ferris, pitch Mally, summon, effect to put Increase from the deck in the back row. Increase, tribute Ferris, summon itself, effect to summon Vion from deck. Vion on summon gets a Foolish, we're going to send the Nair. Then we're going to banish Ferris to search for a Polymerization here. Then going to link those 2 away for a copy of Cross Crusader. Cross Crusader is going to revive our Malicious, and then activate the effect to tribute it off to search. There's a couple of different things we could search here, depending on what we want. Either Plasma or Wing Karibo, if we already have our Stratos. However, if you didn't open up a Stratos, this is where you would be searching Stratos, normal summoning it to then search either Plasma or your Wing Karibo. For this demonstration, I'll be adding Wing Karibo to the hand. I'm going to banish Mally from our grave to summon another copy from our deck. After that, we're going to perform a link summon here for a copy of Wonder Driver. Then we're going to banish our second Malicious to summon our 3rd from the deck. Then activate a Polymerization fusing the Wing Karibo and Malicious from our hand in order to summon ourselves a copy of DPE. Then we're going to activate Wonder Driver, to recycle that poly and set it in the back row. After that, we're going to activate our Denier Engrave, summoning it, and then taking a Banish Malicious, putting it to the top of the deck. Then we're going to banish a Malicious to summon that recycled copy back. After that, we're going to link these two off for a copy of Infernal Devicer. Infernal Devicer will then search our Neostrom deck. At that point, then we'll fire off our Polymerization that we recycled in order to summon ourselves a Flame Wingman. Flame Wingman on summon searches our copy of Favorite Contact. We're then going to activate the effect Shaded Off in order to summon a copy of Sunrise. Sunrise on summon grabs ourselves a copy of Miracle Fusion here. We're then going to fire off Miracle Fusion. We're only going to banish Infernal Rage and Neos to summon ourselves a copy of Wake Up Your Elemental Hero. Then we're going to activate DP, popping itself, and then Wake Up. Chainlink 1 Wake Up, Chainlink 2 DPE to revive next turn. Wake Up will summon our copy of Shadow Mist directly from the deck. Shadow Mist on summon grabs us a copy of Mass Change. After that, we're going to perform one last link summon here for our Dread Decimator. And then in Grave, we're going to banish our Wake Up in order to summon our Wing Karibo. Then we're going to set our Favorite Contact and our Mass Change to the back row, and then pass to the opponent. During the draw phase, we're going to fire off a Mass Change, sending Shadow Mist to summon ourselves a Dark Law. And of course, the effect, you can pretty much add anything. Either add a Stratos or a Plasma, typically a Plasma, just for follow-ups next turn. And then during the standby phase, we're going to special summon our copy of DPE. This is a pretty good end board. Of course, we have a Macrocosmos as well as a Hand Rip. We also have a Destruction and Damage Infliction, a Pop, a Buff, as well as a debuff, a buff for all your heroes, as well as a Banish, and also a summon of Shining Neos Wingman, which has several pops and can't be destroyed by card effects. And then follow up, of course, we have Plasma for next turn. It might not look like a whole lot, however, this board is pretty damn crazy. I would love to do a deck profile on the evil stuff. That comes out, I think, February or January, something like that. I think late January is when it comes out. I'll definitely be doing quite a few deck profiles on with the evil hero stuff. They look very promising. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought about this deck profile. Anyway, yeet.